Welcome to another episode of the Income Machine. We've got an update today. There's been a lot of movement. A lot of it is coming out of this big news from 2 days ago, where the Chinese central bank they are trimming their short-term rates and pumping 10.6 billion of liquidity into the financial systems, which caused a pretty big up jump in the market this week. This is after the Fed rate cut. Now, a lot of banks around the world are kind of like, wait to see what the U.S. government, what the U.S. Fed is going to do. And then in response, they start doing their own quantitative easing soon after. And we're seeing now with China. Now we've got the two largest economies in the world are doing quantitative easing now. And we've already got some beginnings coming out of the UK before this, Canada before that. They're a bit smaller economies, but they do have some impact on the global economy, of course. But the two big boys, China and the US, are now pumping the system with liquidity. This is exceptionally good for those of us in our Bitcoin place, but it's also very good for Tech Rally, for Mag 7, for basically anything that you're in right now. It's going to be good in some things more than others. And this takes us to the income machine. So MicroStrategy has been popping off for the last 3 days. So we're up another 1.75% today. In the last 3 days, we have gone up about 8%. And I'm sitting on my cash secured puts on that and doing very well. I've actually gotten out from underneath this rock I found myself under back in August on MSTR. If you remember, in August, we had that big 26% drawdown. We hit the 200-day moving average, and since then, we've just been popping off. I have gotten out of that profitably. So if we look here on the left under MicroStrategy, I was in a minus $1,500 hole for a little while. And then I got out of that by selling this $2,000 put for 134 strike. Okay. I closed that out on Monday. I closed that out by buying it back for $543. And then yesterday, I went ahead and sold a new cash secured put expiring October 4th at a $146 strike price for $559. So I am now at a profit of $1,304.73 for MicroStrategy. And I've been doing this since August 9th. So about 6 weeks we've collected $1,304 with our between $13,000 and $15,000 of capital. That's not bad. We do a quick percentage return, so 1304 divided by, let's say, 14, we'll split the difference, 14,500, right? We're looking at an 8.9% return in 6 weeks. What is that per, let's say, week here? Divided by 6, that is about 1.49% per week. Let's see, let's times that by 12, not 12, by 4 to get the monthly, about 5.9% per month. And per year, we're looking at about 71% return on this thing over the course of a year. And of course, if we do 71%, 14,500 times by 0.71, we're looking at about $10,000 a year coming out of this strategy for MicroStrategy. And then we also have NVDA. So I went ahead and sold another put on NVIDIA, collecting $759.32 in premium for that sale, taking my NVIDIA total to $2,014.93. Together, the total since I've started this on July 30th is $3,319 that I've collected on these two stocks here, using about $27,000 between that range of capital. So that's not bad at all. I'm actually really enjoying this. This is actually going super duper well. So MicroStrategy, I'm going to keep doing this. I've been doing, now I'm doing it 2 weeks out instead of 1 week out as we get into this bull run, and I'm expecting to close it out pretty much every week. I think I'm already 30-40% profitable on that MicroStrategy put. Let me look real quick here. I'm 42% profitable on that. So I could close that out right now for a $239 profit for that current open put that I've got on it. For NVIDIA, I'm up 35.14% on that. I could close that one out for a $266 profit right now if I wanted to. So this is looking good. MicroStrategy is going to keep going as long as Bitcoin keeps going. Bitcoin is going to keep going as long as liquidity keeps getting pumped in. This is Bitcoin. We are still trading just on the 200-day moving average. We do need to get ourselves lifted off of that average. I do think it likely will come soon, and we will see it launch up off of here. We need to get lift off that average. Ideally, we need to get above $64,730 to get above these candles that we've been forming the last couple of days for Bitcoin. And from there, we can use that as a bit of a launch pad to take us higher on Bitcoin. That's going to dictate what happens with MicroStrategy. And that's why I'm doing just 2 weeks out. That way, if I get into trouble like I did before, I can just push it a month out and recover all of my losses, my potential losses there, and then just wait an extra couple of weeks. If I went a month out on MicroStrategy and I had to push it further, I'd end up pushing out 90 days, 120 days further out, and that just gets exceptionally risky. So I'm not willing to do that. So I'm really only willing to go out as far as 2 weeks at a time, unless I get in trouble, and then I'm willing to go out a month at a time, which is what you saw back here when I got into trouble here on August 27th. I pushed it out uh, from from August 30th to September 13th. And then I got into deeper trouble and I pushed it a month further out than that. So I ended up 6 weeks out into the future. And then I waited until just the other day to close that out. I waited almost a month to close that out and get out of the woods, so to say, on that one. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Where do we think NVIDIA is going to go from here? NVIDIA is just charging up too. We had this launch, so we came up above the 21 EMA, we dipped down into it and just launched right off of it. We're coming into some resistance areas here right now, like 125-ish is where we're going to see some resistance there. But it's not, I think we could find ourselves trading a little bit higher here. As long as it holds up here, I'm feeling pretty confident, especially as news of liquidity keeps coming in. We did make a higher low here in September from August, and if we can make a higher high above 131 there, in the coming days, this ends up becoming a higher high, higher low pattern, which is really great for us to run towards that all-time high. Once again, for Q4, it looks like it's setting up very, very nicely for that. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. I'll try to come out with another video maybe today if I can find the time to talk about something that happened with Cypher, which is why it was up so much yesterday. There's huge news for them. They're actually starting to look interesting again on the Cypher chart with these new updates, these new developments for their stock. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio, and have a profitable day.